Hello, everyone. We are so glad you found your way here to engage online. The 2020 annual meeting of South Central Association of Blood Banks, presented 100% virtually for the first time in the association's history. This year's meeting was scheduled to take place in Orlando, Florida at the end of May. Like so many other events, the meeting was rescheduled for today and tomorrow, again to be held in Orlando. But even the best laid plans often have to be modified. And so the South Central Board of Directors made the decision to present this year's meeting in this 100% virtual format. Stepping way out of our comfort zone, we are confident that we have put together a virtual dashboard delivery tool that will assist you in navigating through all the fabulous presentations that are on the schedule for today and tomorrow. 2020 has definitely been a year we will remember. Our way of life today does not resemble anything we have gone through in our lifetimes. COVID-19's impact has been profound in our personal lives. Some have lost loved ones and colleagues, and even more have been ill themselves. We've had to learn a new way of working remotely, if even possible. Homeschooling our children and basic trips to the grocery store require extra precautions. The blood bank community has had to navigate the instability of the blood supply due to the challenges of inconsistencies of collections and the unpredictable demands for blood that we continue to struggle with during this pandemic. But in true form, our industry has risen to the occasion. We are resilient. From the recruitment and collections to the transfusion of our patients, as well as a Herculean effort and response of the blood bank industry to the collection and transfusion of convalescent plasma, together, we continue to meet and overcome each challenge. I want to thank each one of you for your role during this pandemic. Whether you are on the front lines caring for hospitalized patients with COVID-19, at a blood center striving to make sure that adequate blood components are available, donating blood yourself, or part of a team doing the numerous jobs required to ensure that the blood banking community meets the needs of our patients. You are all heroes. Thank you for what you do. Much has been learned and will continue to be learned during this pandemic. And here at our first ever virtual South Central Association of Blood Banks annual meeting, we will bring you remarkable success stories addressing the challenges that have been encountered, medical advances, and cutting-edge science, and opportunities to network and learn from colleagues. We have an incredible lineup of COVID-19 and non-COVID-19 topics over the next 2 days, and we are happy that you are here to join us. To help us navigate through the next 2 days, we have asked South Central Association of Blood Banks past president, Sarah Martinek, to join us as our virtual MC. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bryant. Thank you for all of your leadership, and thank you for leading us through these very uncharted waters in our very first virtual meeting. I'm so proud of you and the board and all of the attendees who are moving forward in this virtual world, and I am very excited to be walking with you through the journey.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm excited to be part of something so historical for the association, but even more excited to get started and learn from our many industry leaders. So let's begin. When selecting how to open our virtual annual meeting, the SCABB board was unanimous in that they wanted someone who was engaged with the challenges of the pandemic, someone who was passionate about the industry, and someone who could bring some levity to the current day-to-day environment. Ladies and gentlemen, our opening keynote speaker today is Mr. Bud Scholl, President and CEO of One Blood Incorporated in Florida. In this position, Bud brings diverse experience and knowledge to One Blood as a healthcare executive, entrepreneur, developer, technology expert, asset manager, and a turnaround specialist. Bud was instrumental in leading the conversation to have Florida join South Central Association of Blood Banks as a member state and has remained committed to the association in a number of ways. Today, Bud's topic, strengthening culture during chaos, is so very timely given these unprecedented times and our current and future healthcare landscapes. Please welcome Bud Scholl.
Hello from Florida. I'm Bud Scholl, President and CEO of OneBlood. But wait, okay, I'm alone. I can take my mask off. Oh, what a luxury these days. A virtual meeting's not exactly how we had planned things for this year's conference, but we have all become very good adapting to the unexpected and finding ways to meet our objectives in new and unique ways. And this conference is no different. Now more than ever, it's important that we continue the conversation amongst our peers and share best practices to ensure success as an industry during this unprecedented time. From the start, the COVID-19 pandemic has put the need for a ready blood supply at the forefront. Every blood center in the country has been thrust into the spotlight, unlike anything our industry has ever experienced. From rapid cancellation of blood drives, followed by convalescent plasma collections and COVID-19 antibody testing. Blood centers have been at the forefront of the conversation and at every turn and playing a lead role in saving the lives of COVID-19 patients. The speed at which things has unfolded is absolutely staggering, and it requires all of us to move at lightning speed to ensure a ready blood supply, no matter the circumstances. And to do that, we need a great team of people ready and willing to make it possible. At OneBlood, we've worked very hard to create a culture where team members are at the forefront of our decision making. And so, when the pandemic hit, we were able to avoid the chaos and instead elevate our employee-centric culture to new heights. Don't get me wrong, it was hectic and fast-paced and coming at us from all directions, but we stayed true to our culture of making our team members a top priority. And that's what I want to share with you today. The importance of establishing a reliable culture that you can use as a compass when a crisis presents itself. When the pandemic hit, we set out the following priorities at OneBlood: ensuring our team members are safe, ensuring our essential workforce is present and able to come to work, ensuring we have blood for our hospital partners, communicating extensively with all stakeholders, looking as far forward as we could to maintain a proactive approach in identifying potential issues, and remaining willing to act without delay. OneBlood set up a virtual war room for communications comprised of our traditional structure of 3 working groups. Our Business Continuity Plan, or BCP as we refer to it. The BCP is part of our culture and something we created nearly 5 years ago. We enact the BCP when something happens that could impact our operations. There's a BCP executive committee comprised of leaders from each department, and we meet online daily to address the situation at hand, solving problems and communicating across departments. We also have a CEO and Executive Vice President committee, which also meets online daily to handle higher order policy and strategy issues. And we have our senior leadership team, which meets to process and implement policy and strategy as needed. We put the wheels in motion on March 12th with OneBlood's call to action for donors. The rapid cancellation of blood drives, which we were all experiencing, required that immediate call to action both locally and nationally. OneBlood's corporate communications team led the communications and media strategy for OneBlood, and they also helped lead the way for the blood banking industry. And it included this public service announcement comprised of industry CEOs and the FDA united in a call to action.
We need people to start turning out in force to give blood.
Blood drives across the country are canceling.
I depend on blood donors to live. It's a matter of life and death.
I'm so grateful for everyone that took the time to donate blood. It saved my life.
Without it, we can't live.
A patient is treated with a blood transfusion every 2 seconds.
If you don't have a blood supply, surgery at a hospital basically shuts down.
There's an immediate need for blood donation.
It's a very safe thing to do to go give blood. People should do it because they can help save lives.
We also wrote and issued a national press release provided a media toolkit that included industry interviews and ensured a consistent message was communicated from the start. And donors responded, both locally and nationally. The spotlight was on us. Our frontline teams were managing a huge donor surge, and behind the scenes, Biologics was inundated with high volumes of blood products to manufacture. Over the next several days, schools and daycares closed, affecting many of our team members. We immediately understood the challenges that our team members were about to face on a personal level. In addition to childcare issues, we knew many of our team members were also going to be dealing with spouses and significant others who would be facing pay cuts, furloughs, or even worse, losing their jobs. Now, more than ever, our team members needed us to come through for them. A crisis unlike anything we had faced was unfolding, and the culture we had created was going to lead us through it. We had already established a culture of putting our team members first over the last several years. In fact, over the past 2 years alone, I personally made 300 visits to our locations across our service areas to lead open discussions with team members on departmental concerns, obstacles, and opportunities for improvement. I do a lot of listening on these visits. Our team has great ideas, and we end up implementing their ideas whenever possible. We celebrate them often, and in January, before the pandemic was even a thought, we launched the I Choose One Blood campaign, featuring our own team members giving testimonials about why they choose to work for One Blood and sharing their message not only internally, but also externally.
I choose One Blood because I want to be part of a team that saves lives.
I choose One Blood because I know there's career growth here for me.
And late last year, in 2019, One Blood also became a $15 an hour employer. And so, when the pandemic hit, we were not going to let it alter our culture. Instead, we used it as a defining moment. Then, on March 15th, just a few days into the pandemic, we set the tone and launched One Blood Mission Heroes. Our main goal in this campaign is to support our team members and celebrate the amazing role they hold during the pandemic. They are, without question, essential. To accomplish this, we implemented a 20% mission premium pay up to and including the manager level. We also increased the maximum PTO accrual limit to 400 hours for all team members, and we allowed up to 80 hours of negative PTO to accrue. This gave our team peace of mind early on that we were looking out for them and they would be taken care of. We even produced videos with our team that were shared on social media and let them communicate their vital role to the community.
We are Mission Heroes.
I love working here, it's amazing.
I love my job, I love what I do here. We're a family, we're all a team.
I think it's very humbling to be part of something bigger than myself.
And I'm just really proud to be with such a great company like this and just helping people as much as we can.
It means everything in the world to me. It's a beautiful thing for me to be able to work here and to be able to contribute to saving lives every single day.
It makes me proud to be a part of this company. We're doing something to help other people.
It brings me joy.
What we do impacts people's lives. That's my job.
The changes necessitated by the coronavirus outbreak kept coming at us fast. And about 2 weeks into the pandemic, on March 24th, we instituted several operational adjustments. They included implementing remote work plans for administrative team members, social distancing guidelines at donor centers and on our big red buses, and these included 6-foot spacing in waiting areas, mobiles limited to 2 donors on beds and 2 donors registering at a time. We required appointments for donors, and donor services team members began wearing masks and gloves. After the FDA announced that COVID-19 convalescent plasma collections could begin, we immediately put the wheels in motion to begin collecting CCP. We mobilized an entire team of people that focused solely on convalescent plasma, and 8 days later, we began collecting and distributing convalescent plasma. We also quickly began providing masks to all team members after the CDC reversed its policy and called on all Americans to wear masks to prevent the spread of coronavirus. As we entered the 3rd week of the pandemic, on March 29th, we expanded our support for team members by beginning the Essential Premium Pay program. We moved to a 25% essential premium pay for team members who were required to report to work. And the 20% mission premium pay stayed in effect for team members who were working remotely. 6 months into the pandemic, this pay structure remains in place today. As donors began to answer the call, OneBlood started to exceed our collection goals. So we reached out to other blood centers in our service areas to ensure regional needs were met, and also were able to assist nationally and help other parts of the country. We then began to realign both our collection strategy to match the changing demands of our hospital partners. Then, on April 2nd, a monumental moment occurred when OneBlood began collecting COVID-19 convalescent plasma. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez became OneBlood's first convalescent plasma donor. OneBlood's communication team produced a video to get the word out about his donation.
It's incredible. I felt a sense that I could continue to help. We have a moral responsibility. What I would say to them is that we have an obligation. It gave me another opportunity to continue to help, and also to send a message to others, a call to action, that if you are infected with COVID-19, and if you come out of it, which you will, and hopefully you will, you still have a continuing obligation to help those that are suffering from it or who are in a worse condition than you were.
In conjunction with that video, we issued local and national press releases announcing COVID-19 convalescent plasma donations had begun and provided video of Mayor Suarez to our media partners. This high-profile donation, combined with a media strategy plan, resulted in local and national news outlets covering the story and put the spotlight on the need for others who have recovered from COVID-19 to step forward and donate their plasma. A month into the pandemic, on April 12th, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis canceled elective surgeries. This resulted in an unprecedented 52% decline in hospital utilization of our blood products. We had to drastically reduce our collection strategy, and this also meant we had to implement a 32-hour weekly schedule for donor services, donor recruitment, biologics manufacturing, and distribution. But we did not want our team members to be negatively impacted by this decision. To offset the reduction in hours, we kept the Mission Premium Pay program in place, and it kept our team members whole. To show unity from the top down, the senior leadership team and I also took a 20% pay cut. And it was during this time that we also managed to hold a Team Member Appreciation Week to celebrate our team. We even provided them with a few gifts as a way to thank them for their unwavering commitment. The downturn in collections did not last long. After a few weeks of pulling back on collections, we were ramping things back up when elective surgeries resumed at the end of April. At that time, the 40-hour work week returned, and we saw hospital utilization skyrocket to 120% within just 10 days. Then, just 2 weeks later, OneBlood took on another massive task when we began testing all blood donations for the COVID-19 antibody. We were able to roll out the program within 2 weeks of the EUA from the FDA using the OrthoVitros testing platform. We teamed up with Florida's governor and state health officials and provided data on where the positive test results were coming in from. Our partnership with the state resulted in plenty of media coverage.
The Florida Department of Health has been working for now weeks with OneBlood.
This will give us a snapshot throughout the entire state as to the number of individuals who may have COVID-19.
We issued local and national press releases on the joint effort and provided a media toolkit along with our own video and social media strategy.
If you donate blood with OneBlood, you will find out if you have the coronavirus antibody.
OneBlood is testing all blood donations for the coronavirus antibody.
Donors will be able to see their results about 48 hours after donating by logging onto their portal at oneblood.org.
Donors responded and our blood supply remained strong. As we saw COVID-19 cases begin to skyrocket in early July in Florida and across our other service areas, the demand for COVID-19 convalescent plasma started to increase exponentially. We issued a press release, and the headline of a 500% increase in hospital usage became a lead story.
And that need for convalescent plasma continues to rise, along with the number of COVID cases in our country. OneBlood swiftly getting the urgent message out to stakeholders and newsrooms, and even getting recognized at a national level.
As we experience a dramatic increase in coronavirus cases in Orange County, we have learned from our partners at OneBlood that there's an urgent need for convalescent plasma.
Just in the past few weeks, OneBlood has experienced more than a 500% increase in hospital orders for COVID-19 convalescent plasma. And that is an extraordinary increase.
We heard from OneBlood, second largest blood bank in the country, the largest in the state of Florida. And right now what they said is doctors are using convalescent plasma earlier on in the treatment process because it's proving to be more beneficial. They're not just using it on the sickest patients. So there's more of a need because there are more patients.
The communications team landed an interview with the FDA, incorporated our hospital partners, and created a story we posted online and also provided it out to the media. It set off a flurry of media coverage and potential donors responded. Our marketing team put together a strategy to reach new potential convalescent plasma donors and ramped up marketing efforts to previous donors to make donating their plasma a habit. The communications and marketing strategies were highly successful. Thousands of convalescent plasma donors responded, and our mission and brand were elevated locally and nationally, garnering more than $18 million of earned media in July alone. With the spike in COVID-19 cases in our service area, we wanted to alleviate concerns as much as we could for our team members. They were working harder than they've ever worked, many of them on the front lines in what has become a hot zone for COVID-19. With no signs of the pandemic slowing down, on July 21st, we announced that the essential premium and mission premium pay would be extended until at least October 17th. In addition, we announced that remote work would remain in effect for administrative team members until at least October 17th as well. And we extended the option for our team members to incur up to 80 hours of negative PTO through at least October 17th. Also in July, another benefit we extended to OneBlood team members was free quarterly COVID-19 antibody testing. We are also providing free COVID-19 testing to any team member who's been exposed to the virus or is experiencing symptoms. Throughout the second wave of the pandemic, OneBlood has been at the forefront of COVID-19 convalescent plasma collection. And to help highlight the need for more donors to come forward, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke to the media from our Orlando location on July 20th.
There is an increased demand from hospitals for convalescent plasma, and we want to be able to meet that need. And one of the best things you can do if you're somebody that has recovered from COVID-19 is to donate your plasma.
The governor then mentioned OneBlood in subsequent news conferences and posts to his social media channels urging plasma donations. OneBlood is getting the word out about the need for COVID-19 convalescent plasma donation by recruiting potential donors at all 50 of the state and county-run testing sites. We created hospital toolkits and community partner toolkits to reach additional audiences, and we saturated our service area with a consistent message on all fronts. As a result, OneBlood's message is included on social media posts with hospitals, community partners, and at press conferences, and the donors are responding. Adapting to the new normal is a fluid situation, but through it all, our team members remain our top priority. We look for ways to support and help them as much as possible. And we celebrate them and incorporate their stories, their voices in our overall communication strategy.
I'm proud to be a part of this team. It makes me proud to be a part of this company and see that we're actually doing something to benefit people and how it impacts other people's lives.
We work really well together because we are a team, we are a family, and together we are OneBlood.
I love my job. I love what I do here. I love what I can do for all the donors and all the patients that are in the hospital.
Our team members are our greatest asset, and that is the case for every organization. Put them first, and the rest will follow. It takes time to create an employee-centric culture, and it requires commitment and dedication to uphold that culture, not only during the good times, but also during the tough times. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to the day when we can gather once again in person, and I want you to enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks again.